We have our next victim on the operating table here. This, my friends, is a Black & Decker 1/4 inch utility drill. Catalog number UD1/U. 3 amp AC/DC, which I think is interesting. I love these old metal cased drills. I don't know why I keep buying them. I just think they're neat. Now, I will admit, the day that I brought this home, probably a month or so ago, I plugged it in just to see if it would work. And it does. Sounds pretty. Not sure what happened there. The trigger stuck. Anyway, this poor thing looks like it was out in the rain, rode hard, and put away wet, as they say. It looks like it's led a pretty hard life. But we're going to give it a day at the spa and see if we can make it look and work a little bit better. One thing I want to do is, I noticed that there's a 2-prong cord on here with a wire sticking out, and my suspicion is that is a ground wire. So let's check continuity. With the case, put it here where you can see it. And yes, it does appear to be a ground wire. So that's good, because what that means is it might be possible. Whoops, I don't think so. I thought we might be able to use the cord, but we're not going to be able to. This cord's shot. So much for that idea. It's pretty filthy. Yuck. Look at all that. That's grease, I think. Is that grass in there? Well, anyway, we're going to see if we can fix the old gal up here a little bit. So, let's get into it. I don't see any markings on there. I think this is called a Jacob's chuck, but don't see anything on there yet anyway. That looks good. A lot of grease in there. But no small bits of metal, so that's a very good sign. Man, look at all that grease. Whew. Man, this thing is filthy. Oh, man. Alright, I've learned to not immediately start yanking on the, well, too late now. Okay. The brushes, I pulled it a little too far and the brushes snapped in. So that bridge has been crossed. I've had some horror stories happen to me before with that. Let's see if we can get this brush out of here. Hopefully it'll be okay. Let's put that right there. Come on, Mr. Brush. Yeah, the brushes are there. So all right, I'm going to have to do some very careful archaeology here. So I don't make a bad mistake, because I have before in working on these things. So let me do that off camera. Let me clean this thing up and see if I can figure out exactly how it's put together. And I will bring you back when, yeah, there's the brush right there. I'll bring you back when I figure something out. Meanwhile, duty calls, I have to go do something else. So I'll come back to this. But you won't even notice. There's the brush. It goes in like this. Have to be really careful here, lest I break something. And I've been known to do that before. I don't think that brush is meant to come apart. All right, I think I'm going to ponder this a little bit and find the parts list online. I think I found it once before. Let's see if I can figure out exactly how this thing works. I'd like to get that switch out of there. I'm not quite sure how that comes out. Okay, I gotta stop messing with this thing and do some things that I'm supposed to do today. I'd much rather be doing this, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think this screw holds the switch in. Well, let's find out together. Alright, I'm going to clean this up a little bit and decide where I want to go from here. I don't want to get too hasty about jerking everything apart because I'd like to be able to get it back together. So let me do that off camera. So I am going to loosen this screw and take the switch completely out. See if I can get this loose. Oh. So out comes the switch. I think I may have taken this thing down about as far as I want to. I've had bad experiences in the past with taking these motors down further than they need to be. And these brushes I don't think are meant to be serviced easily. And there's still plenty of meat left on those brushes. So rather than make a big mistake like I have done before on these things, I think I'm going to stop right here. I'd like to have everything out, but I'm not going to do it. I don't think. I need to consult with the staff first. Okay, Arby, what do you think? Should I try to take that thing completely apart or leave well enough alone? Let me know what you think.
Stop now, Bill. You will just screw it up if you don't.
All right, 8-Ball. Give us your opinion. Should I try to take the thing apart any further?
Man, it's dang old complicated, you know, man. It's like a dang old Rubik's Cube, man. You like talking about blue, red, man, then you get to one side and then you like mess it up the other side, man.
All right, I thought I'd give you an update as to where I am and what I've decided to do, how to approach this. First of all, I've learned how to get the brushes out, so that's a good thing. So I won't have to worry about any issues when I put the armature back in, because I can put it in and then put the brushes in, no problem there. Now, I'm not going to disassemble this any further. I'm not going to take the field coil out because there's just too many issues with these holders for the brushes, so I've decided to avoid that and clean it up as best I can while it's together. And that having been said, it's been a real chore because this is one of the nastiest, most disgusting things I've ever seen. It was awful. I think somebody submerged this in mud or something, because it was, I've been working on this for several hours, trying to get all this baked on grease, and the only word I can think of for it is mud. Dirty mud, gritty mud. It's just gross. But anyway, I've gotten most of it out of there. You can see some of it there, like right in there. It's just, it is a mess. Anyway, enough of that complaining. Now what I'm going to do is, I figured out, you know, the wiring was pretty much buried in mud and grease and stuff, and so I've pretty much figured out the wiring, made some notes, got the switch out. So here's my plan. Let me stop rambling. My plan is to put this back together to the point where it's functional without any further cleaning. I'm not going to put the whole thing back together. I'm just going to get the armature in there and wire it up and make sure that it's functional. Make sure the switch works, and it, you know, just by the virtue of being clean, it should work a lot better. So before I do any cosmetic work, I'm going to do that. So I have got a new cord for it, or I'm going to make a new cord for it. I'm going to hook it up electrically and see if it works. And if it does, we shall continue with the cosmetics. I don't think you could get anything this dirty without doing it intentionally. I've already cleaned this up. It was unrecognizable. Look at this. That's the vents were completely clogged. Look at that. You'd have to try to get something this dirty. Man, it's unreal. Look at that. Anyway, I'm trying to get it to the point where I can do a function test, but I've got quite a bit more cleaning to do first. I have done a preliminary cleaning of some, but not all of the parts. This is one of the nastiest machines that I believe I've ever taken apart. Man, it was just encrusted with all kinds of baked on grease and just plain old dirt and grit, and I think it's like somebody buried it for a while or something. Anyway, it's about as clean as I can get that. I cleaned up and lubricated the switch, so it works now like it should. So I'm going to take this part in the house where I work on electronic stuff, and I'm going to see if I can wire it up and to the point where we can at least test it. So that's where I am now. Alright, it is now time for the long-awaited function test. And I got to tell you, this thing came apart a lot easier than it went back together. But anyway, I've got it temporarily kind of tacked together here. And so the switch is locked on. Push it in, push the button, the lock button. So let's see if it works. Oh yeah. So it does. All right. Let's continue with the cosmetic restoration now. By the way, I've got a new cord here, and this wiring's pretty much new. Getting this brush in was quite a little chore, but it went in there. Have to juggle these parts around and move, work around the switch, and anyway, long story short, I got it in there. So let's continue. Here's the parts of the drill, all cleaned and ready to assemble. Polished them up a little bit, got them cleaned up. So let's put it back together. Here's the drill put back together. It needs a little final cleanup. I got it kind of messy. Got some greasy fingerprints on it putting it back together. But anyway, it works. So we'll try it out. No problem whatsoever. Here's the Black & Decker U1-U3 1/4-inch drill. After some cleanup, lubrication, servicing, and I think it looks pretty nice. I did another one very, very similar to this one. I don't know, maybe a year or so ago. And I suppose now you could say I have a matched pair. So here's that one. So here's the one I did earlier, and here's the one I just finished. So they both work great, and there's a few differences. This is a let's see. This one is the U1 model U1. It has some vent holes here. The trigger lock is here instead of down here, but they are very similar. This is the one I really had the issues with the with the brushes on. The brushes were much easier to deal with on the one I just finished here. So there you have it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the cleanup and rehabilitation of that vintage Black & Decker 1/4-inch drill. I did. I always enjoy fixing those old things up, and I think it came out looking really nice. So with that, we'll conclude this episode. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and hopefully we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.